Now you mentioned earlier having started Mondays Don't Suck, being part of that. You know.
Yeah.
So obviously that's just one event among many in DFW. Do you tend to go to a lot of car meets or car events anymore?
Yeah. So I used to go all of the time.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day you could find me at a different car meet, different car show.
Yeah.
I used to do all the car shows too, like Week Fest, Hot Import Nights,
right.
Stance Nation, Spocom, all that stuff. And I used to travel with my car and go to car shows, and then like the fender rolling business started taking way off.
Right.
And I started having less and less time to put towards the car and put towards like shows and meets. So I kind of dropped off the face of the earth when it came to shows and meets. But when it comes to the Mondays Don't Suck, I do my best to be there every single time. But that's a lot of that has to do with the fact that me and Victor, the other guy that runs it, like we're like best friends.
Yeah.
And I'll do whatever I can to make sure that Mondays Don't Suck always thrives.
Yeah.
Like we'll do whatever. So if you show up to Mondays Don't Suck and you are those people that are like racing and rev bombing your shit and like doing burnouts and shit, don't fucking show up anymore. I don't want you there. If you're like those VQ kids that come and like, check out my flame map, and you're like rev bombing, get the fuck out, dude.
Yeah. That's
why we charge now.
No, it makes perfect sense. Victor reached out to me. He's like, hey, we're bringing it back. And it's honestly, you know, as far as a local meet or a car event, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
You know, it's always well organized. I like how they have like a separate section up front.
Well organized.
It is well organized. You know, you have like an entrance, you have police presence. So, you know, and it makes a difference. If something's well organized, people will want to go to it, you know. So, yeah, we just recently communicated. I like you know, Victor. He's a great guy. Gosh, I mean, when did you guys start that? It's been 5 years? 4 years?
It's probably been 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I remember our first one was in the dead of winter, and there was like 25 cars that showed up.
Yeah.
And we could literally fit everybody in the front parking lot, right in front of the fence.
Yeah.
And then the next one, there was like 50 cars.
Yeah.
And the next one, I think there was like 100-something cars, something like that. And then I think by the 7th or 8th one, there was over 1,000 cars.
Yeah.
And it just exploded, and we couldn't even contain it anymore.
Yeah.
We're like, what do we do with all these people?
You know, it's interesting because for probably 2.5, almost 3 years of running Texas Show Promoters, you know, I would promote all the events, but I didn't have time to go to them.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have time. So a lot of times people didn't know who TSP was. Yeah. I wasn't posting videos of myself or anything, but I was sharing. We had, you know, a decent following 3 years in. And so sometimes, you know, the word of mouth helps, and then having that kind of content and the traffic and everything. I don't know. It just seems like some of the events, and I think the reason why that one grew so much is because it was well organized.
Yeah.
It just the layout, the entrance, like it's well done. It's well done.
We used to give out we still give out cool trophies, but I used to make all the trophies.
Yeah.
And I always made them out of old car parts.
Right.
Because I've been to shows and like you give these shows, you pay 50, 60, 70, 100 bucks sometimes.
And they give you a plaque or like a trophy.
And you get like a $5 trophy that they made out of plastic or something. And that's boring to me. Yeah. Why would I want that? I'm a car guy. I spend all this time and money on my car. Like, give me something, if I win, give me something that is mutual to what I've done.
Right.
Because a plaque or a piece of plastic doesn't really mean much to something. But if it's something cool, like made out of car parts, you'll want to display it. Like I made one where I gutted a Dayton 100 spoke, right? Which, by the way, if you gut a Dayton 100 spoke, people in the lowrider community will come after you. But I gutted a Dayton 100 spoke, and I painted the inside of it this like translucent blue. But before I did it, I took a flap disc and ground down all the chroming and just made it like bare metal with the flap disc.
Yeah.
And then painted it this translucent blue. And then me and my friend Seth cut a little slit in the top of it, and we drove a sword through the middle of the wheel.
Yeah.
So we called it the Excalibur trophy.
Yeah.
And we like bolted the sword to the base of the wheel. And then we lit the whole thing up.
Yeah.
And so it was like this lit up trophy. I think Chris Garza has it.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite trophy that I ever made.
You have pictures of that?
I probably got.
I gotta see that. I gotta see that when the show's over.